Welcome to the Real P&L Trading Show, where I share my real P&L on 3 accounts and share my proprietary SafeWheel options trade system for free. Uh, Make sure you guys type in the chat that you can hear me okay. I want to check my audio. Also, be sure to post any questions you might have. I don't want to end the broadcast here without answering all the questions and trying to help as many people as I can with how to trade options and the way that I trade options. Charles says, and some guy, yes, less and more. Thank you guys for letting me know that the audio is working. I appreciate that. All right, let's get into it then. I'm going to start with the earnings edge. What happened last week? I went with Microsoft, and you can see here, I lost $48. So pretty much a break even. What's the net lick? 9,693. Okay, let's move the spreadsheet over here. $9,693, and looks like my record since the update 2020 and 6, so 50% win rate, average win 882, average loss 573. And you can see what's happened in 2022, outperformance, 2023 underperformed by a little bit. And so far this year, well, let me put in what is SPY trading. SPY, where is it? Is trading at 497.47. Well, so the market's only up 4.5% approximately this year, but the earnings edge is underperforming by a little bit. But since I started trading the earnings edge, you can see it vastly outperforms here, 94% versus 4.7%. And maybe this is a little bit off. This 4.6 and 4.7 should be the same, but it's close enough. So that is the earnings edge. Now, let's talk about, I have quite a bit to talk about here when it comes to the Premier Level 5. So net lick here, 33,621. Now this isn't totally accurate because I've been slowly moving my account over to Interactive Brokers. And in fact, this account now is, I don't use it anymore. All my positions are gone. And I have my positions here. This is kind of tricky because it's hard to share my account without showing my account number. So I kind of have to do it partially here. So this is my Interactive Brokers account. I'm going to refresh it. So this is my actual account balance. It's not whatever this one was. Let's see here. 33,621. That's not accurate because I started trading in this account and I made some profits, or I'm actually ahead in some unrealized gains. So this is the true performance. Now, if you want to see exactly how I did this transition, I created a video that showed everything that I did and how this number is accurate. And I put a link in the description of this video of how I got this 34,184. How do I got here? So in case there's any questions about, how I transition these accounts, but my account balance is 34,184. I know it's up quite a bit. With the market down the way it is, it's been, pretty good for the PL5. Let's bring this over, 34,184. Yeah, so you can see it's up a little bit here, 34,184. So now down 2.6%. And this should be F22. I'm not sure what happened here. Equals F22. Okay. So we can see the comparison here. I started this on April 8th, up 11, where the S&P has been down 6. Vastly underperformed in 2023. We can see that. And now underperforming here in 2024, but remember it's risk adjusted basis, so the drawdowns are about 1/3, but still I'm down on the year 2.6 and the market's at 4.6. So overall about 14 versus 21, but again, risk adjusted returns, this is doing better because it's about 1/3 the drawdowns of the S&P. But we're catching up here because we went through a 6-month period with the maximum drawdown of 2% on the market, which is not good for the PL5. So the PL5 can do okay in bull markets, but we need to have more than a 2% pullback. So obviously we're going through that right now, and you can see the results of that where the PL5 is starting to catch up. All right, so that was quite a bit there. And again, here's the balance for the IB account and the performance so far. And check the link in the description to get total details on how I did that transfer over to make sure. I want you guys to know that it was totally accurate, that that's my real balance. All right, let's talk about the safe wheel. Got a little bit to do here with the safe wheel. First, let's talk about 65.81 is the balance. So let's talk about that. 65, so it's down. All right, so you can see the safe wheel performance. 2022 outperformed by 40%, underperformed in 2023, and now catching up but underperforming still in 2024. But the drawdowns are about 1/2 of what the S&P are, so you can see that when you get to risk adjusted returns, it's vastly outperforming, especially since it's up around 31% versus about 5% since inception here of the beginning of 2022. Okay, so vastly outperforming the safe wheel, and I've been trading that right in front of you here, and I'm going to trade it again today. Today's kind of a big moving day for the safe wheel. Let's look at something here. LI year to date, you can see that I'm down $307 year to date. Okay, so that's going to be a significant thing when I go into the account. And the reason is because I'm long 200 shares, and I'm long at $36.50 and also at $30. So first question is, right, is this put hedge covering me? Well, LI is trading at 24.58 under my put price, right? So obviously it is hedging, right? It's up, $975 or $263 today. So you can see that the hedge is doing its job. Now, I have this long call right here that will expire at the end of the week, and that's that long call there is fine. I don't think I'm going to do anything with that. But let's talk about now that I own 200 shares. So my hedges are fine, but I own 200 shares. I want to sell premium against this, and I want to sell my premium at $36.50 and then also another set at $30. And I want to do it in the near term. So looking at the calls, I want to sell at $36.50. Okay, nothing there. Can't sell that one. All right, now I want to sell at least against 100 of my shares, half of my shares at the $30 level. And I don't have any premium to sell. You see that? So I want to get at least, say, 25 to 30 cents, right? And I cannot get that. I can't sell any premium. Both of my soldiers are wounded and they are not doing anything for me. My 100 shares, I would consider those a soldier. They're wounded. They can't do anything. I can't collect any premium. So the rules are at this point to sell off everything. Sell off my put hedge, let it pay itself off. Get rid of my 200 shares, take a loss on the 200 shares, and start over. because I can't sell any premium, I'm not going to sit here dead doing nothing. I'm not going to sit on my hands, as some people might say. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to collect premium every week, or I'm going to just close out everything and start over. I'm going to still continue with LI, okay, as my stock. So I'm not going to go through any kind of filtering. I'm going to use LI. So what am I going to do? I'm going to close out my 200 shares, and I'm going to close out my put hedge, have it pay me, and then I'm going to start over. So let's do that. I'm going to right click here, closing order, whatever this price is. And that's probably going to fill, and it did. Now I'm going to sell this. And mid 560. Maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't. We'll see. Okay. Now. All right. So I just closed out everything. Did I take a loss? Yeah, I think I'm down a couple $100 here. That's fine. I'm going to go back into LI, fresh, starting over. I already have this long call, so I don't need to establish that, but I'm going to buy a new put. So I'm going to go out approximately close to 150 days right here. And I'm going to buy something around 80% of what the current price is. So 24.51. Where is my calculator here? Calculator here. So 24.51 times about 80%. So I'm going to buy something around $19.50 or $20. Let's see what's available. The $20 one. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy 3 of these and get my put on. So it's going to be around $1.68. Okay, now I have my new put hedge, and I'm going to go into the nearest expiration cycle, and I'm going to sell a put. I wanted to sell a put out of the money, and I want to get at least, what is it trading at? At least 25 cents for it. So this would be the one I could go with, the 23. I always like to go, the one I can go with and then one back. So I'm going to sell this 23.50. I'm going to sell one of those. Maybe get 37 cents for it. And start the wheel all over again. So now I have my positions. Okay, so I've got my hedge here. I've got my hedge for my hedge, right? My long call. And then I just started the wheel all over again at 23.50. So I'm able to start everything down at this 24.50 level. And there you go. Now the safe wheel has been reset in essence because I couldn't sell any premium. I'm selling premium no matter what. So here I just collected $37 worth of premium. All right, there might be quite a few questions about that on the reset. All right, so let me get into, make sure I've got my notes here. So let's get into any questions. Charles, can you show P&L graph of your EE account? Oh, shoot, sorry, I didn't do that. I can do it now. Let's see. Analyze. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Now, after I did the reset, so I'm hanging out right here. So it looks like I have a little bit of risk to the upside, and downside looks really good. Sorry I wasn't able to do that. I should have done that before I traded all my positions, but I didn't see that. All right. Will says, big drop in LI this week. Probably a reset. Yep, you are correct. That's what happened. I don't know how many times I've done a reset. Maybe 2 or 3 in the last. Maybe it happens like once year or once every 6 months. Not very often. Please show your LI risk profile minus the stock and hedge. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I don't have the stock anymore. I should have probably read these first before I eliminated everything. Sorry about that. Will says, I kind of want to leave in my $30 soldiers and just sell a put. Yeah, it's an idea. I haven't really back tested it that way. In other words, what you're saying is to just sell 100 shares and just keep everything intact. But that's kind of taking a loss, right? You're just taking a loss on the worst case loss. Just my first set of soldiers. Yeah, makes sense. I'd have to back test that. Carl, a while ago, you mentioned that if both sets of soldiers didn't give you enough premium, you would leave it for 1 week without doing anything. Yeah, I did have that I was kind of tweaking the system and changing it up. It was probably about a year ago, where I wanted to let it ride for a week, give it a week. But I did some further back testing on that, and I found that it just wasn't worth it. It's just better to reset. And Avery said, let's vote LI or new stock. Well, too late. I've already decided to go with LI. Maybe you can call me stubborn, but I don't like taking a loss on the stock. I want to kind of show that the system can work on any stock that I pick. And so I want to stay with LI so I can show a profit with LI. All right. Let's see here. Because year to date I'm down $330. DraftKings, I'm about 541. So I want to turn a profit with LI. Will says Carl never abandons a stock if it fits the filters. He wants proof of concept that the stock doesn't matter. Yep, exactly. And that's what I just said, and you know how I trade. The only thing we have to fear is the P&L is not real. Franklin Roosevelt. All right, thanks for that. Some guy, surprised you stuck with LI. Can't help think once bitten, twice shy. Yeah, so exactly. So what Will said, I want to show that this works with any stock. And that's my goal because it is a statistical system. It's not a system where you pick a certain stock that you think is going to go up or down. It's not biased to the stock. And so I'm going to stick with LI. Will says, Carl, do you ever do gambling like casinos during your vacations? About poker among friends? Yes, I play poker. I used to be pretty good at poker. I used to play locally and kind of hit the final table quite often. That was about 20 years ago. I'd rather play the options market because it has way better probabilities in terms of statistical analysis. It's like I don't really gamble anymore because it's boring. I mean, it's like the probabilities are so low. Why throw my money away when I can do a very similar concept in trading, but make money doing it? It's kind of similar to gambling, except for the odds are in my favor. And I know how to play the system to where I can make money. As opposed to gambling, I don't really gamble anymore because it's just like not good odds. Like, why am I going to go somewhere and take my money and put it in something that's not good odds when I already have something where I do have the good odds? I might take 20 or 40 bucks or something like that when I go to Vegas and throw it away in a slot machine or something for fun. But yeah, no, I don't really gamble anymore. Some guy says, I keep thinking of Ride. Yeah, Ride, I think went to, I don't know, it's not available anymore. I know you can't trade any options on it anymore. So you have to be careful there when you're trading the wheel. Well, because you're selling options and you're looking for edges, you end up being the house instead of the gambler. Right, right. I'm basically playing as the house rather than the player, and it just makes me not want to turn into the player anymore. Hope LI doesn't keep going down and gives you a bad ride. I wouldn't mind, boy, if LI dropped down to, like Ride did. It started like $22, or I don't remember how high it got. It went to $2 and then under $2. If LI dropped to, 'cause right now it's at 24.60. If it went to $10 tomorrow, I'd be very happy. I would be very profitable. So there's a difference between the wheel, traditional wheel, and the safe wheel, and that's the difference. Charles, please show your activity and positions before closing this out. Okay. So I think you can see everything here. And make sure you get a good look at that. Ledoux, that's an interesting name. Do you think there are strategies for roulette, for example, that are long-term profitable? I haven't seen any. I know I've seen some interesting things on YouTube where these guys play these systems. I used to think I had a system on roulette, but no, it didn't work. I always tried to beat roulette for a while there. That was my game, and I had a kind of a system going, but I couldn't beat it. And this is 20 years ago. John, it was 2 weeks ago. I couldn't sell a covered call on my 200 shares. It was higher than the assigned price, but on Tuesday I sold a call lower than the assigned price. Is that okay? I wouldn't sell a call below my assigned price, because you could get caught taking a loss on your stock position, and the safe wheel is not designed to take losses like that, to sell calls. I guess technically I could have sold a couple calls today since I decided I was going to take a loss, and I already have my long 300 or 3 puts. So I guess I could have sold calls in the below my assigned price, considering, because I have a hedge. I didn't even really consider that. That actually could be something that could be back tested rather than just selling out my 200 shares right now. I could have maybe collected more premium and maybe get called away if I don't make anything. So that's an interesting concept. I didn't even really think about that. Something to be back tested. So Janos, I would say I like the idea, because it's right now I took a loss rather than collecting a little more premium, which I probably could have. But I would definitely back test it and have it defined exactly what I was going to do beforehand. But I would say it's not the end of the world that you did that, right? Because you still have that put hedge. Will says the house always has an edge, and you can get closer to the house edge, but the games are made to always give the house about a 1% edge. Yeah, that's not much of an edge, 1%. And roulette has negative expectations for the punter, positive for the house. Yeah, for sure. Card counting and blackjack helps. I used to do that too. That was when I was in college. But they had bad 6 to 8 decks. Yeah, but I think back when I was in college, you could still get those single decks. And I was counting cards, but I didn't. I wasn't really successful at that either. Avery says she likes roulette. I actually like craps the most. I do roulette and craps, and they improve your odds, but you have to know the house always has an edge, and you can get closer to them. I always play the don't on craps. Avery says 50-50 red or black. No, because they have the green, right? So those greens take away your 50-50 shot. Gambling is a tax for people that that do bad math, that are bad at math. Yeah. Sivo, they didn't build all those huge resorts in Vegas on people winning money. Exactly. I mean, that's just right there. Avery says she was just joking about the red and black being 50-50. Will, ask not what the last successful trade was. Ask what you can do for your P&L. Okay. All right. Well, there's been quite a bit there. I changed my account over to Interactive Brokers, and the reason was because I was paying like $2.25 a contract on Thinkorswim, and that was just taking out a lot of my profits. And I went to Interactive Brokers. It was only 85 cents. So that was a major reason why I moved over to Interactive Brokers with my PL5. And then I talked about the Earnings Edge and, of course, the Safe Wheel. And some guy says 30% tax on winnings. What's that all about? In UK, it's tax-free on gambling wins. Wow. Well, I mean, you have to win first, right? Interesting. Yeah. Of course, you're going to get taxed on it, right? It's like living in California. All right. I'm going to start winding down here unless there's any other questions or comments. Be sure to ask any questions you have about this reset, of course. I think we went through that. And one thing I always like to say in parting, if the P&L is not real, what else are they trying to conceal? I'll see you guys next week.